Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Minecraft, the quest for all biomes. Well guys, today we're going to be flying out and hopefully completing some more of our map over here. What I want to do is just get up, remain up in the air for as long as possible so that we can explore this map. As you can see, even while we are in the air over here, it does fill in quite nicely. And it happens much quicker than it would if we weren't up in the air, so why not, eh? As they say. And as always, I think I've forgotten to put my sounds back on. Yep. So let us do that. Wow, that looks beautiful. It's come out a bit into the ocean though over here. There is a lot of water on this map. So not too much land to be aware of here, but at least there is land that we can see and enjoy along our journey. Right, I'm just trying to figure out whether to land or not, as we are heading into the jungle over here, and I don't particularly want to be caught in these trees, or fall into the side of one of these trees, but I think we should be fine if we stick to this little, like, river area over here, and just come through here. Unfortunately, we have headed a bit too far down, so we weren't filling in the whole map over there, which is not ideal because we want to fill in as much of the map as possible as we go. And we've landed. Alrighty, and it's time to run because it is nighttime now, so we need to be very careful because we don't want to be attacked, that is for sure. Do I have my Frostwalker boots on? I do. And we are getting attacked regardless. So let's walk over this way a bit, just to make sure that we keep filling in the map as we go. And our Frostwalker will allow us to walk around here. Sorry, Mr. Squid, but you do have a little hole that you can get through there. Unfortunately, I had to just keep going because of all the mobs around me, as it is nighttime now. I don't know why I chose to start off in the nighttime, considering that there was the whole of the daytime ahead of us. Would have been a much wiser thing just to go to sleep and then climb the ladder to the top, but oh well. Choices were made, decisions were taken that were unfortunate. But oh well, we can just keep going now. We're almost halfway in the map, which is pretty awesome. Well, not halfway. I'd say we're almost a third of the way in the map is what how I should be saying it. And as to why I'm doing exploring in this episode, I'm not too sure where we're at in terms of exploration, if we are supposed to be doing exploring now or building. So I don't know, my videos got all messed up on my computer, like the times that they were made and whatnot, because you know how usually it shows you, oh, you've done this video then, or you can basically arrange the files you've created by date. And for some reason, the files that I've created, their dates don't match up to when I actually made them. I don't know what's caused that, but oh well. At least they are still there. I think I might have lost one video in trying to sort everything out, but it wasn't anything serious. No real progress was made during it or anything, so if it does seem a bit weird between one of the videos that you guys were watching, that is why. Also, let me know if the keyboard sounds better. I got a comment from one of the viewers suggesting that I put some tiles under the microphone, which I have now done, because the keyboard was coming through. So let me know how that sounds, if it sounds any better to you guys. I really hope it does. Thank you very much, as always. It's always great to hear from you guys, and especially comments like that one that are so constructive and allow me to improve on the channel, because I want to give you guys an enjoyable viewing experience, you know? I want you to want to watch these videos, not like, oh, do I really have to listen to this guy's keyboard again throughout this whole video? No. Now I've sorted it out. What happened there? I didn't jump. Thank you. Now I hopefully have sorted it out, so you shouldn't be able to hear the keyboard. Let me just... You can hear it, but I mean, it doesn't make that like booming sound like it used to anymore. I don't know, other than get a new keyboard, I don't know what really else I can do, but this I hope helps a lot. Anyway, let's carry on around here. There is some land up ahead, which I'm very tempted to go and explore, but we need to do a U-turn right about now, because we are getting to the end of this map. So We still need to go a little bit further to fill it in, surprisingly. Wouldn't have thought that that would have been the case, but okay. Oh, getting quite a bit of lag here, which is unfortunate. But anyway, let's just keep going. I think that's the end of it, and now we can head down and start to try and fill in the rest of it. What's nice about this is it really gives us like a good gauge of where things are in the world, because without having this whole mapping system, it is really tricky to tell where you are in terms of everything, or where everything is in terms of you, basically, because like we've explored so much of the world, but if you had to ask me where is this particular thing that I've explored, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But having these maps really changes things. It allows me to say, okay, now I know where I am, I know where to go to find whatever I need to find. Like if I wanted to find this particular biome, for instance, I would know to come here. Or if I wanted to go to the ice plains, I'd know where to go. I mean, finding those ice plains, if I hadn't have taken down the coordinates, would have been an absolute mission. Fortunately now though, I have an easy way to get to them from the nether, so that makes my life a whole lot easier. Anyway, let's just climb on up here to the tippity top of this little hill. And then we can carry on exploring. There's a village over there, which is awesome. We can add that to our villager project, which is what we'll be doing next episode, guys. We'll be starting to work on our docks next episode for our little villager project, village project. And what I want to do is I want to create the docks that's by our original home base, and add to those docks a way to get across to the other side, basically. A dock's on by me, and a dock by the village, the path to the village. The first village that I'm going to go towards is, for those of you that know where the... words are hard today, guys, I don't know why. For those of you that know where our end portal is, just above that, just north of that, is where one of the first villages that I want to start building in, a desert village. It's sort of like half on the desert, half on a forest biome, so I think that will be an interesting challenge to incorporate those two things. I want to make it like a merchant village, where it's like a thoroughfare. So you go through there and you can do all sorts of trading. I want to have stalls and all of that. I've already blocked off all the doors so that the villagers don't die while I'm away, so that the zombies don't come and kill them all, because that would be horrible, because we do want our villages populated, and to try and get a village repopulated would be a whole mission. Rather just keep the villages that are there already and hope that they repopulate, or populate it more and more as we go along. Now, we aren't swimming too fast, unfortunately, because we don't have our depth strider boots. We've got our frostwalker boots, and we have gone off the path. We flew a bit and landed in the water, so the water isn't freezing under us, as it usually does, but we are making decent progress in heading towards the land over here. Alrighty, almost at the land now. Come on, just a little bit more to go. Yeah, so what do you guys think of Minecraft as a whole? Are you guys excited for Minecon that's coming up? I haven't ever really been to a Minecon before because I live in Africa, and most of them have either been in USA. I know there was one year there was one in France and stuff like that, and I don't have the money to travel to places like that. It would be awesome to go to Minecon and get a cape and all of that sort of thing, see the new things that are coming up, talk to like-minded people that enjoy the game and whatnot. It would be pretty cool. But yeah, have any of you guys been to Minecon? What have your guys' experiences been of it? It'd be interesting to hear from you guys about that. Conventions as a whole, really, I haven't ever been to one. I'm up to going to one if the occasion ever arises that I can go. Yeah, I think that's pretty much that on that topic, because, as I say, I've never been to one, so I can't really talk about it. The ones that I've seen, though, I've watched them online and whatnot, and they seem like a whole lot of fun. Like, I know E3 has just happened a few months ago at this point, but just come and gone, and it was a very, very interesting E3. A lot of things to see, a lot of games that came out, not as good as last year's, but still pretty interesting. Because I'm such a Nintendo fan, it was quite disappointing that Nintendo didn't decide to do anything really for their E3 event. You know, they just had a treehouse session, which was fun. You know, it was great to see the new Pokemon game and some of the new Zelda that's going to be coming out and whatnot. But they didn't really make a big thing of it like they did with the puppets at the year before. I think that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed what they did there. And I wish they would have done something like that this year, but they didn't. So we have to live with what we've got. Let's break through here. Also, I mean, you can't top the announcing of a Final Fantasy VII remake that was made at the previous E3. So I know that doesn't come under Nintendo. I switched to Sony now, talking about Sony's conference. So Sony's conference this year wasn't quite as exciting for me as hearing that they were going to be making a Final Fantasy VII remake, but it was still decent to hear all the news and whatnot. Yeah, the Final Fantasy VII remake, for those of you that don't know, is going to be coming out in various different episodes, and I think that's an interesting approach to it, because Final Fantasy VII is a big game. For those of you that have never played it, it's like originally I think it spanned 3 discs for the PlayStation. So if you had 3 episodes, one focusing on each of those discs, that would be pretty cool. But also it would limit. I don't know. It seems they're not going for the open world feel. Like Final Fantasy VII in a way was an open world game because the way the world map was handled, you could explore anywhere you wanted, and there weren't really any limits imposed upon you. And there were sections of the game you could miss entirely if you didn't know about them or didn't explore enough, which was very, very interesting and very innovative for the time. So how they handle the remake is going to be very interesting to see with modern technology, because obviously the graphics that people demand these days are much, much higher than what they demanded in those days. And as a result, they take a lot more space. So I think splitting it into episodes is the best decision, but how they handle that decision is going to determine whether or not it's going to make a good game as a whole. Because Final Fantasy VII has a massive fan following, rightly and wrongly. Personally, and I know this isn't a popular opinion, but Final Fantasy VIII is my favorite game ever. And I know a lot of you are thinking I'm crazy for that, but really, it's one of the games that, when I think of gaming and what I enjoy about gaming, I think about Final Fantasy VIII. Just, I don't know, something about that story touches me, and I really, really love it so much. And I know the battle system is broken, and I know that the best part for a lot of people of that game is the side card game that's involved in it, Triple Triad. But for me, it's the game itself. I mean, it introduced me to RPGs as a whole, so I think nostalgia does play a big part in my views on the game. But I don't know, I played it again recently, and it still holds that place for me as the best game ever. Minecraft, very close second, and I think third would be Pokemon. Those 3 games for me are really, really my favorite games. And if you're wondering why I haven't done any like Let's Play of Final Fantasy VIII or anything like that, is I plain down don't think I would be able to do it justice. Not at the moment, not at my current skill level with commentary and stuff like that. I don't think I'd be able to do it justice, and until I get to that stage where I think, yes, I think I'll be able to do what I want with this game now. I'll be able to showcase it to the level that I want to. I don't think that I'll be doing anything regarding doing a LP or Let's Play of Final Fantasy VIII. But to get back to what I was saying now about Final Fantasy VII, I think a lot of people are on the same boat as me with whereby Final Fantasy VII was their first major game, you know, in their lives, their first RPG experience. So for them, it holds that special place in their hearts. And a lot of other people, when they come back and play it, don't understand what all the hype is about, because it really laid the groundwork for a lot of modern day RPGs and a lot of modern day experiences that really build off it. So to go back and play the base thing is a bit lackluster in comparison. It's like if Ice Cream weren't as popular as it was, but the only flavor was non-flavored, not even vanilla, just like non-flavored ice cream. And people then had to go and say, okay, so this is non-flavored ice cream, right? Let us have, I don't know, Neapolitan or triple flavored ice cream or choc mint or whatever flavor ice cream you guys like the best. Let's have that, and then let's taste non-flavored ice cream after that, because this flavored ice cream was so great. Let's go back to it. It won't be so great. But if ice cream didn't exist and then you had non-flavored ice cream, it would be amazing, you know, because there's nothing else to compare it to that comes close. But once you got something that's added or built on, it makes that other thing that was so amazing previously look worse. It doesn't mean that it is worse, but it just looks worse in comparison to something that's done it better. And it did it better because the original product was already there to base it off. So I think that's a lot about what influences people's views on games like Final Fantasy 7 and 8, because they've had other experiences, or they haven't had other experience. They come back to the original and they think, you know. The whole Final Fantasy series is a very interesting one as a whole, actually, because it was called Final Fantasy because it was going to be their final game. The original creators of the game thought, okay, nobody's buying our other games, our company's about to close, let's go out with a bang. So what they did is they went out with a bang. They created Final Fantasy, and it did so well for them that they're still going. They're busy making Final Fantasy 15 at the moment. So it shows you what can really be done, you know? If you think all's about to collapse around you, if you think nothing's worthwhile living for, it's not worth carrying on, don't. Don't think that. Because you can go out with a bang. You can do something that will just turn your whole world around and really make your life different from what it was before. I mean, if they had taken that attitude and said, okay, this is going to be our last game, it's not worth really working on, not worth really taking the time to make it as good as we can possibly make it. Imagine how much poorer they would be as people, for one, because they wouldn't have money, but how much poorer the gaming scene would be, because all that influence that Final Fantasy series has had on gaming wouldn't have been there. We wouldn't have had the awesome epic RPGs that we've had, because they simply wouldn't have had the inspiration to do it like they did. I know there's Dragon Quest and games like that were doing it, but they're in a completely different style, a genre of their own, if you will, in comparison to the type of games that Final Fantasy has spawned. And I mean, they remembered that lesson. They released a MMO game a little while back that completely bombed. But when that MMO completely bombed, they went out in style once again, and it got people so excited to play the next game in the series that it didn't actually matter that it was a failure. They were able to re-release it and make it better the next time around. So that's a lesson for us all to take, that even if what we're doing right now, and there our lighthouse is coming into view, even if what we're doing right now doesn't seem like it's succeeding or doesn't seem like it's going the way we want it to, just keep trying. Just put your all into everything that you do to try and make it as good as you can, because life can be tough. But if we keep going, keep trying, and keep going full on, and trust in God and trust in ourselves to do the best that we can with His help, we will get there eventually. We'll be able to succeed and see that life does have a purpose, does have a meaning. And that meaning is often what we make it, and how we determine how we will live our lives determines the people that we become. So guys, I know I got all deep at the end there, but thank you so much for listening. I hope that you guys enjoyed our little time together right now, and as always, my name is Athais. I'll see you again. So for now, I'm gonna say good night and God bless.